This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV. We're in Cardiff here for the announcement of the second coming show, May 17th at the Cardiff Motorpoint Arena, live on Sky Sports. With me, I've got Nathan Cleverly. How are you, Nathan?
Yes, mate, I'm fine. All good.
All right, first things first. Talk to me about the deal you've got with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn.
Basically, we decided to team up now, me and Eddie and Matchroom, for May the 17th show. You know, we're going to take one fight at a time and see how it goes. You know, Eddie made me an offer, good offer, and ultimately, you know, I took a long time to decide this process because, you know, I last fought in August. Since then, I've just enjoyed life for a bit, you know, lived a normal life, and just bit by bit made my decision, you know, and I came to the decision that this was the best place for me at the moment, and I'm going to go for it, chapter 2. So I think me and Eddie can, you know, do great things in this sport.
You had a long-term relationship with Frank Warren Promotions. Was it a difficult decision to move away from there and, like I said, start this new chapter in your life?
Yeah, it was difficult, you know, and I thought long and hard about it. Difficult decision because I spent, you know, since I turned professional, I was under the, you know, Frank Warren Promotions banner. But ultimately, I got to do what's best for my career. You know, I was loyal for a long time. I stayed loyal for a long time, but I had to make the move that was best for my career. You know, I'm out of contract, and I had the option to go with Eddie, and that's where I'm going to go. And I think this could be exciting.
Your last fight against Kovalev obviously didn't end the way you wanted it to end. How close were you in that time period from that defeat up until now to never boxing again?
Yeah, it was gutting, you know. My first career defeat, I was disappointed, frustrated. I just wanted a break from boxing, you know. I'd had a long training camp. The last thing I wanted to do was just get back in the gym or back into fighting. I just wanted a break. And like I said, I've just enjoyed life for a bit now, you know. I ate a bit of junk food, had a few nights out, had a few drinks. And bit by bit, I was waiting for that time for me to be mentally back on it. And you know, it was a couple of months ago, you know, it really hit home then. I thought, I'm gonna give this a go again, and you know, it's where my heart is. So I'm gonna go for it, mate. Chapter 2. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited by it again now.
Was it always a case of you returning after defeat at Cruiserweight and never to stay at light heavy?
I've had this conversation with quite a lot of people actually. I can make light heavyweight 12 stone 7, there's no doubt about it. But there's a difference between making the weight and performing at the weight. And I know there's no way can I perform my best at 12 stone 7. And the reason I say that is my body fat percentage is too low when I'm 12 stone 7. Plus when I'm in the gym, as soon as I start getting below 13 stone 2, my performance changes. In sparring, I feel drained and not as strong. My mouth starts going dry. I start getting dehydrated. My legs start going heavy. And that's, you know, I've still got 9 pounds to lose from 13 stone 2. So I've experimented in the gym at different weights. And when I'm around 13.5 stone, I feel awesome, you know, and I feel really sharp and energetic. So ideally, there'd be a weight in between light heavyweight and cruiserweight. You know, that would be the ideal situation, but there's not. So, you know, I don't want to sacrifice any more to get down to light heavy. I think it's time to move on, move up, but do it properly. You know, and that's why I've taken this time, taken a few months, just growing into the weight bit by bit, becoming a strong cruiserweight, and I'm looking forward to this challenge.
May 17th is roughly about 6-7 weeks away. As your first fight, your introduction at cruiserweight, what sort of test are you looking for? Are you looking for, you know, someone who's a seasoned cruiserweight that's been there for a while, and you know that, or you don't really want anyone that's going to be, you're going to knock out in a couple of rounds or something? So what kind of fight would you like?
I haven't really thought too much about it, you know, because I've been so much concentrating on this, sorting out this situation, and concentrating on what I'm going to do. But if we're being realistic, we need a few fights, just getting into the weight and seeing how I perform. Because in the cruiserweight, it's going to come up against some big guys, and how am I gonna react to that? Can I deal with it? I believe I can, and that's what we're going to find out. So I don't really mind who it is in front of me, whether it's a former world title contender or a top-ranked opponent or someone lower down the ratings. Just a couple of fights getting into this division, then we can spice it up a bit.
You probably knew this was coming, obviously, and I see you smiling, you know exactly what I'm going to ask. Tony Clever, let's first talk about, did you watch his performance against Valery Brudov?
Yeah, I watched it. It was good, he looked powerful, took the guy out. The guy was game, came forward, tough, proper Russian, strong, and he took him out. Took him off his feet 3 times, showed good power. Yeah, it was good.
What did you think about as an opponent for Tony at his first fight at Cruiserweight?
Good. Yeah, I thought it was a good opponent. It was an opponent who had a bit of pedigree, but he was there. He was always going to give you a fight because he kept coming forward. He was Russian. It's their instinct to just fight. But ultimately, he was there to be hit, and I think he was made for Bellew in the end.
After your first fight, it kind of become a little bit, say, boring, but when one of you was being interviewed, there was people like me was always asking about the other person. It kind of went quiet for a while, but now it's inevitable where you're both in that same division now that a potential meeting could happen. But surely you want that as well?
Yeah, well, same division, same promoter now, so it's inevitable, mate. It's going to happen, because the first fight was good. The first fight was a cracking fight. People wanted to see the rematch, and it makes sense now. It makes sense. We're building it up nicely. When he got caught with that Russian with that right hand, I thought, please don't go over. I wanted him to stay up because he keeps winning. I keep winning. We're going to get it on. There's no doubt. We're on collision course. It's 1-0 to me. I'm looking forward to making it 2-0.
Do you know what? I was watching the original press conference because the fight didn't actually end up happening at the O2. It was the Gal Groves press conference, and I was watching that back the other day, and it was because that's how the fight was built, wasn't it? Off the back of that press conference, where it was if you were there and you were watching it, it was quite entertaining to watch. But a lot's happened since then, and you both have matured as fighters, and like I said, starting new chapters in your life. So this is very interesting to see you two potentially getting it on again in a different way.
Well, it's good, we know how much the fight fans love domestic rivalries. It's like, and particularly, me and Bellew, we don't like each other at all, and it's that's a good selling point. But the fact that not only the fact that we don't like each other, but we can both fight, and our fights will be entertaining, like the first fight. So I think the second fight will be very similar, and I'm looking forward to doing the business again.
Okay, just a final question. Your training team at the moment, who does it consist of? What, have you made any changes since your last camp?
Well, I went down to London for about 4 weeks on end. A few months back, training with Adam Booth, based in London, and it was great. A great setup, great trainer, excellent knowledge, and the setup was brilliant. He's got a real good setup down there. But it was just a little bit difficult for me. I was living away from home, it was just everything wasn't in his place. You know, I just struggled to settle. So in the end, I decided to come back home, back to home comforts. My mother's cooked dinners. I got the gym at home now, so I've been doing a bit of work with Darren Wilson, who's been involved in my corner over the last few years. So he comes up, we do a bit of pad work, and around that I train on my own. So basically, I think me and Darren will be teaming up now. It's just, you know, it's easier, it's compatible, and it's going to work. I think it's going to work. I'm feeling, and I'm enjoying it as well. I'm enjoying the training, and I think that's important.
All right, well, listen, Nathan Cleverly, thanks for talking to IFL TV. Like I said, we look forward to your introduction into this weight come May 17th. It's a great bill as well. Lee Selby, return of Reese and Buckland in their rematch, and the rest of the Welsh talent, Chris Jenkins, etc., etc. So another great night for Wales.
Yeah, cracking bill, mate. You know, May 17th. Great fights. You know, obviously my return. Lee Selby's coming back, who's looking good. A great scrap as well with Buckland and Reese again. You know, the first fight was cracking. Second fight's going to be good. And the other fights as well. Callum Smith, Tobias Webb, cracking domestic fight as well. A good stage in their career, both young, both up and coming. Good crossroads fight. So it's going to be overall cracking night of boxing. Looking forward, mate.
All right, thanks for talking to us, and we'll look forward to May 17th. All right, this is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV with Nathan Cleverly. Thank you very much.